Perception, an invisible force that shapes our reality. But what if you could harness this force? Welcome, dear traveler, to the first step on a journey that will fundamentally alter your understanding of the world. We're embarking on a voyage of discovery, a deep dive into the realm of perception. This isn't about what you see with your eyes, but rather how you interpret what you see. It's about how you feel, how you experience, and most importantly, how you perceive the world around you. You see, perception is a powerful force. It's not just about how we view the world, but also about how we experience it. It's the lens through which we view our surroundings, the filter that colors our experiences, and the framework that shapes our realities. It's a force so potent, it can transform our lives, mold our relationships, and even dictate our successes and failures. So, what if we told you that you have the power to control this force? That you can change the way you perceive the world and in doing so, change your reality? Intriguing, isn't it? It's no magic trick or illusion, but a simple yet profound truth about the human mind and its capabilities. Perception isn't fixed. It's not a constant or an unchanging entity. It's fluid, adaptable, and malleable. And the most exciting part? You hold the reins. You have the power to change your perceptions, to alter the lens through which you view the world, and to shift the framework that forms your reality. But how do you do that, and what impact can it have on your life? Well, that's exactly what we're here to explore. Through this journey, we'll delve into the intricacies of perception, uncover its power, and learn how to harness it to shape our realities. Ready to delve into the world of perception? Buckle up. This journey is going to change how you see everything around you. Perception. It's not just about what we see, but how we interpret what we see. Now, isn't that a fascinating thought? Let's delve deeper into this concept. Perception, in its simplest terms, is the way we understand or interpret our surroundings through the senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. But it's not as straightforward as it seems. Perception isn't just a mirror reflecting the world around us. It's a complex process that involves our brains making sense of these sensory inputs. Imagine you're walking in a forest. You see the trees, hear the rustling leaves, feel the cool breeze, smell the earthy aroma, and if you're adventurous, maybe even taste the wild berries. But your perception of the forest isn't just a combination of these sensory experiences. It's also influenced by your past experiences, your knowledge of forests, your feelings at that moment, and countless other factors. This is where the concept of perception bias comes into play. Perception bias is a cognitive bias that affects how we interpret our sensory experiences. It's like wearing tinted glasses that color everything we see. For instance, if you've had a negative experience in a forest before, you might perceive the forest as a scary or dangerous place. On the other hand, if you've spent a lot of happy times in forests, you'll likely perceive it as a peaceful and comforting place. Perception bias doesn't just apply to forests, of course. It affects how we perceive everything around us: people, events, ideas, and even ourselves. It can limit our understanding of the world, making us see only what we want to see or what we're used to seeing. But here's the powerful part. We can change our perception bias. We can choose to remove those tinted glasses and see the world in a different light. We can challenge our biases, question our assumptions, and open our minds to new perspectives. Think of perception as a painter's palette. Each sensory experience is a different color, and our brain is the painter who mixes these colors to create a unique picture. This picture is our perception of the world, and just like a painter can choose which colors to use, we can choose which sensory experiences to focus on and how to interpret them. That's the power of perception. It's not just about passively receiving sensory inputs, but actively interpreting them. It's about choosing how to see the world, how to understand it, and ultimately, how to experience it. So, the next time you're in a forest, or anywhere else for that matter, remember that what you're perceiving isn't just a reflection of the world around you. It's a creation of your mind, influenced by your biases, experiences, and choices. And you have the power to change it. As you see, perception is not just seeing, it's also interpreting, and that's where the power lies. Now that we understand what perception is, let's explore how it shapes our reality. Perception is the lens through which we view the world. Every single one of us has a unique lens, shaped and tinted by our beliefs, experiences, and biases. This lens influences how we interpret what we see, what we feel, and what we experience. In other words, our perception is the architect constructing the reality we live in. Imagine your mind as an artist's canvas. The thoughts, beliefs, and experiences are the paint. Our perception is the hand that wields the brush, creating a unique masterpiece that is our reality. No two canvases are alike, just as no two perceptions are the same. This is why reality can differ so dramatically from one person to the next. Our perceptions are shaped by a myriad of factors. Our beliefs, for instance, play a significant role. If we believe the world to be a hostile place, we will perceive hostility in our interactions, creating a reality filled with conflict. On the other hand, if we believe the world to be filled with kindness, we will perceive kindness in our interactions, creating a reality filled with warmth and compassion. Our experiences, too, shape our perception. Have you ever noticed how two people can experience the same event yet have completely different interpretations of what happened? This is because our past experiences influence how we interpret current events. Our brain uses the past as a reference point, coloring our perception of the present. And let's not forget about biases. These are the unconscious filters that skew our perception, often without us even realizing it. They can lead us to perceive things in a way that confirms our existing beliefs, a phenomenon known as confirmation bias. But the most fascinating thing about perception is that it's not a one-way street. It's a cycle. Our perceptions shape our reality, which in turn influences our perceptions. It's a feedback loop that continuously molds our reality, moment by moment, day by day. This is why it's so important to be aware of our perceptions. They're not just passive observers of our reality. They're active creators. They're the architects and artists, shaping and coloring the world we live in. Our perception, therefore, is a powerful tool. If we can learn to understand and control it, we can shape our reality in ways that benefit us. We can create a reality that aligns with our desires and aspirations. We can transform our world from the inside out. Our reality, as it turns out, is a mirror reflecting our inner perceptions. So the question is, what kind of reality do you want to see reflected back at you? Not all perceptions serve us. Some can limit us and hold us back. Now, let's delve into the realm of negative perceptions and their impact on our lives. Negative perceptions, in essence, are the lenses through which we view our world, not with optimism and hope, but with pessimism and doubt. These are the thoughts that whisper in our ears, telling us we're not good enough, not smart enough, not attractive enough. You see, these perceptions don't just stay confined to our minds. They seep into every corner of our lives, influencing how we see ourselves, how we interact with others, and how we approach our goals. Imagine you're an artist. You put your heart and soul into creating a piece of art, but all you can see are the flaws. You focus on the single smudge of paint out of place, not the beautiful image you've created. This is a perfect example of how negative perceptions can cloud our vision, making us overlook our strengths and achievements. Negative perceptions can lead to self-limiting beliefs. These are the thoughts that tell us we can't do something even before we try. They're the barriers we build around ourselves, hindering our growth and progress. For instance, if you believe you're bad at math, every math problem becomes a mountain too high to climb. You're defeated before you start, not by the problem itself, but by your perception of it. These perceptions can also affect our relationships. If we perceive ourselves as unworthy or unlovable, we might push people away, afraid they'll see us as we see ourselves. We might settle for less than we deserve, believing it's the best we can get. This is the power of negative perceptions, shaping our reality in ways that are far from beneficial. But it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is, perceptions are not set in stone. They're not unchangeable facts, but malleable beliefs. And if they can be formed, they can be transformed. The first step in this transformation is awareness. We need to identify these negative perceptions and understand how they're affecting us. We need to challenge them, question them, and replace them with more empowering beliefs. The second step is action. We need to act in accordance with our new, positive perceptions. We need to take risks, step out of our comfort zones, and embrace the potential for growth and success. The journey to change our perceptions won't be easy. It will take time, effort, and patience. But the rewards are worth it. Because when we change our perceptions, we change our reality. We break free from the chains of negativity and open the door to a world of possibilities. Negative perceptions can be chains holding us back, but the key to breaking free is in our hands. Imagine what you could achieve with a positive perception of yourself and the world around you. Now that's a thought worth pondering upon, don't you think? Let's delve into this, shall we? Positive perception is not some magical elixir that transforms reality. Instead, it's a powerful tool that can dramatically affect the way we interpret our experiences. It's about recognizing the silver linings even when the clouds seem overwhelmingly dark. When you cultivate a positive perception, you're essentially creating a mental environment that fosters personal growth. You're nurturing an attitude of learning, of curiosity, of resilience. You see, mistakes are no longer failures, but valuable lessons. Challenges are not dead ends, but opportunities for growth. Now, imagine applying this mindset to your relationships. Instead of focusing on the flaws and shortcomings of the people around you, what if you chose to see their strengths and potentials? The result, my friend, is a profound shift in your interactions. You become a source of encouragement and inspiration, and in turn, you attract positivity and support. Moreover, a positive perception allows you to appreciate the simple joys of life that often go unnoticed. A beautiful sunset, a heartwarming smile, a kind gesture. These become sources of happiness. And as you savor these moments, you realize that happiness isn't a far-fetched dream, but a series of precious moments scattered throughout your day. But here's the real kicker. A positive perception doesn't just affect your mental and emotional health, it has tangible effects on your physical well-being too. Research has shown that a positive outlook can boost your immune system, lower stress levels, and even increase your lifespan. Now that's powerful, isn't it? Remember, a positive perception isn't about ignoring the negatives or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging the negatives but choosing not to let them dictate your experience. It's about finding balance, maintaining hope, and staying resilient in the face of adversity. It's about understanding that your perception is like a compass. It guides your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately, your actions. And when this compass consistently points towards positivity, you're setting yourself up for a life of fulfillment and contentment. So the next time you find yourself stuck in a rut, or when the world seems a bit too daunting, remember the power of positive perception. Challenge yourself to find the good in the bad, the opportunity in the challenge, the lesson in the mistake. You see, a positive perception is not a destination, but a journey. It's a daily practice, a conscious choice, a way of life. And with each step on this journey, you're not just changing your world, you're also influencing the people around you, creating ripples of positivity that can extend far beyond what you can see. A positive perception isn't just about seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, it's about choosing to see the potential in every situation. So go ahead, choose positivity, shape your perception, and in doing so, shape your reality. Altering perception sounds like magic, doesn't it? Well, it's not far off. Many of us sail through life unaware that our perceptions greatly influence our experiences. It's easy to believe that what we see, what we feel, what we experience is the absolute truth. But the reality is that our perceptions are the architects of our world. So how do we go about altering our perceptions? Well, there are several practical techniques we can employ, including mindfulness, cognitive reframing, and self-awareness exercises. Let's begin with mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment, calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. It's an ancient practice, but it's as relevant today as it ever was. By practicing mindfulness, you can learn to perceive the world around you without judgment. You learn to accept things as they are, rather than how you think they should be. This acceptance can lead to a change in perception. allowing you to experience life with a newfound clarity. Now, let's talk about cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing is a psychological technique that involves identifying and then changing the way situations, experiences, events, ideas, and emotions are viewed. In other words, it's about changing your perspective to a more positive or beneficial one. For instance, rather than seeing a problem as a roadblock, you can reframe it as a challenge or an opportunity for growth. By changing your perspective, you can alter your perception of the situation and subsequently your reaction to it. Finally, let's discuss self-awareness exercises. These exercises involve introspection and reflection, with the aim of increasing your understanding of your own character, feelings, motives, and desires. By being more self-aware, you can recognize your own biases and understand how they might be influencing your perceptions. It's like taking a step back and seeing the bigger picture. This can lead to a shift in your perception, allowing you to see situations from a different, more balanced perspective. Altering your perception isn't about creating a false reality or living in denial. It's about understanding that there are multiple ways to interpret the world around us. It's about recognizing that our perceptions are not fixed, but malleable and subject to change. It's about learning to choose the lens through which we view the world, rather than allowing our default settings to dictate our experience. Remember, altering your perception is a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing process, and it requires practice and patience. But the rewards are immense. By altering your perception, you can transform your experience of reality. You can find peace in chaos, joy in sorrow, and beauty in the mundane. Altering perception isn't about denying reality. It's about choosing to see it from a different, more empowering angle. Let's look at some real-life examples of people who have shifted their perceptions and changed their lives. First, let's consider the story of a man named Robert. Robert was a middle-aged accountant living a life of monotony. He was stuck in a rut, unhappy with the direction his life had taken. But one day he decided to change his perception of his life. Instead of seeing his job as boring and mundane, he started to see it as a platform for creativity. He began to use his analytical skills to solve complex problems, turning his daily tasks into exciting challenges. This shift in perception didn't just make Robert happier, it also made him more successful, as his newfound enthusiasm and creativity didn't go unnoticed by his superiors. Next, let's talk about Sarah. Sarah was a single mother working 2 jobs to support her family. She often felt overwhelmed by the weight of her responsibilities. But one day, she decided to shift her perception. Instead of viewing her circumstances as a burden, she began to see them as a testament to her strength. She started to appreciate the fact that she was capable of providing for her family. And this newfound sense of empowerment gave her the strength to carry on, even in the face of adversity. Our third example is Tom. Tom was a college student struggling academically. He believed he was not smart enough to succeed, which only served to lower his morale and hinder his progress. But when he decided to shift his perception, he began to see his academic struggles not as a sign of inadequacy, but as an opportunity for growth. He started to embrace challenges, viewing them as stepping stones towards improvement. This shift in perception led to a noticeable improvement in his grades, proving that our beliefs about ourselves can indeed shape our reality. Lastly, let's look at Emily. Emily was a young woman battling a chronic illness. It was easy for her to fall into despair, to view her life through the lens of her illness. But Emily decided to shift her perception. She chose to see her illness not as a life sentence, but as a part of her journey. This shift in perception allowed her to focus on the things she could do, rather than the things she couldn't. As a result, Emily was able to live a fulfilling life despite her condition. These are just a few examples of how shifting our perception can change our lives. It's not about denying reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see things from a different perspective, to find the silver lining even in the darkest of clouds. As these stories show, a shift in perception can be the first step towards a profound change in life. Shifting your perception is a journey, not a destination. These words ring true for every individual striving to alter their perception. This journey of perception shift is much like traversing a winding road. It's full of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But take heart, for every step you take is a step towards a new understanding, a new perspective. The process of shifting perceptions is not a one-time event, but an ongoing journey. It's akin to sailing on an endless ocean. There's always a new horizon to reach, a new wave to ride. And sometimes the sea might be calm, and other times it could be tumultuous. But remember, it is the sailor that navigates the ship, not the sea. So too, it is you who can navigate your perception, not your circumstances. Now, as you embark on this journey, it's essential to be patient with yourself. Shifting perceptions isn't about reaching a finish line. It's about the journey itself. It's about exploring the vast landscapes of your mind, understanding your biases, and challenging your preconceived notions. It's about learning and growing, one perception at a time. You may find that some perceptions are harder to shift than others. That's perfectly normal. Some perceptions are deeply ingrained, shaped by years, even decades of experiences and beliefs. But don't let that discourage you. Instead, use it as motivation. After all, the most rewarding journeys are often the most challenging ones. And just as every journey has its ups and downs, so too does the journey of shifting perceptions. There will be days when you feel like you've made significant progress, and there will be days when you feel like you're stuck in a rut. But don't be disheartened. Progress isn't always linear. It's okay to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. What matters is that you keep moving forward. So as you continue on this path, remember to celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Each shift in perception, each new understanding is a victory in itself. Each one is a sign of growth and progress. So take a moment to appreciate these victories. They are the milestones that mark your journey. And finally, remember to be kind to yourself. Shifting perceptions can be a daunting task. It can be mentally and emotionally taxing. But it's also a journey of self-discovery and self-improvement. So be gentle with yourself. Give yourself the grace to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow. In conclusion, shifting perceptions is more than just changing how you see the world. It's about changing how you see yourself. It's about embracing a new perspective, a new understanding. It's about embarking on a journey of self-discovery and growth. And above all, it's about learning to navigate the vast ocean of your mind, one wave at a time. Remember, shifting perceptions is a journey, 1 step at a time. We've taken a deep dive into the world of perception now, but the journey is just beginning. As we've seen throughout this exploration, perception is not just a passive process of receiving information. Instead, it's an active process that shapes our reality in profound ways. We've started by understanding what perception is. It's the lens through which we interpret our experiences, coloring our world with significance and meaning. We've learned that our perceptions are often shaped by our past experiences, our beliefs, and our expectations, creating a unique and personal reality for each of us. We've discovered that negative perceptions can cast a shadow on our experiences, creating a reality that's filled with fear, doubt, and negativity. But we've also seen the transformative power of positive perception. By choosing to see the world through a lens of positivity, we can create a reality that's full of possibility, joy, and optimism. We've also explored how we can consciously alter our perceptions. By challenging our assumptions, embracing new perspectives, and cultivating a mindset of curiosity, we can reshape our reality in empowering ways. We've looked at real-life examples of people who have shifted their perceptions and in doing so have transformed their lives. Their stories are a testament to the power of perception and the potential it holds for each of us. As we move forward, it's important to remember that the journey of perception is a continuous one. It's not a destination, but a process of continual growth and evolution. It requires patience, courage, and an open mind, but the rewards are well worth the effort. So, as we conclude, I'd like to encourage you to start applying what you've learned in your daily lives. Start by observing your perceptions and questioning them. Challenge your assumptions and embrace new perspectives. Cultivate a mindset of curiosity and openness. Remember, each moment presents an opportunity to shape your reality in empowering ways. Remember, the world as you know it is shaped by your perception. Change your perception and you can change your world. Until next time, stay curious and stay perceptive.